BrightlinkSource.com here, and today we're reviewing a Tactico TC-2 watch. Tactico is the military and tactical division of Crepas watches. Crepas is a Spanish watch company that's been generating quite the stir in the dive watch community. Their watches are constantly sold out, and every edition is limited and numbered. And Tactico also follows the same style. Crepas, I'm not sure how it's pronounced since it's an acronym for the watch company that specializes in underwater activities, and so it's a Spanish version of that. And I don't want to embarrass myself by trying to say the Spanish, but that's essentially what they stand for, which I guess basically means they're a specialized dive watch company. So that would make this a specialized military and tactical dive watch, I suppose. Really, really cool watch. It's a very subtle what makes this watch special. I think when you look at it, in a lot of ways, it just looks like another, sort of antique loom dive watch, 42 mils, very, very standard kind of a spec to it. But when you really get up and close with this, you kind of notice a lot of the smaller things. It's a 42 mil watch, but it's got very sort of elongated lugs here that really pull the watch out, so it has sort of a shape to it that's a little less round feeling. And then it's got the 22 mil lugs, which are actually quite wide for this watch. At least they look quite wide, and it goes straight through here and it goes into a sort of a wider band, non-locking deployant here on the strap, on the bracelet. So give you a shot of what it looks like here. Very cool looking watch. I would say it wears a little small for a 42, probably because the case is wide but the bezel is a little bit narrower. But I think it wears really great. I actually quite like the size of it, and really like the feel of it. The bracelet is a bit wider, but still wears pretty good, and I quite like it. So one thing I wish it didn't have was these hollow end links. I wish it had solid end links. It reminds me of the old Rolexes and some of the cheaper watches, but at this price point I would have hoped to have solid end links. Nice little engraving there in the back. And a friend of mine mentioned that it reminds him of the Seamaster engraved backs, just with the medallion thing in the middle there with the logo. But I think it's pretty cool. Sapphire crystal. This thing is good to 500 meters, so it's a real bona fide dive watch in that sense. The bezel is really cool because it actually comes out. It flares out, if you can see there. Zoom in to get a little bit of a better look. So it flares out and it alternates polished and blasted there on the nubs and nibs. Antique loom on the bezel as well as inside. So all this yellow stuff here glows, and all this yellow stuff here glows. 120 click bezel. It's actually a little hard to turn, but I mean, you can get it going. But that's probably okay because you're not going to accidentally turn it then. But you can grip it. You just have to really push at it. Screw down crown with the signed logo there. Hands are not super big and are a little harder to see than most dive watches, but because of that loom on there, you actually can notice them quite easily. But very cool looking dial. I like the large indexes around there. And the case is it's really cool case. Got a little bit of polished accenting here, but just the way that this part runs across here in the curve, and then sort of the case bubbling out from the bottom, and I just love the way it wears. I didn't expect to like this watch as much as I do. When I kind of got it, I was like, I want to kind of see what these watches are all about, and I really wanted to get one. It was the only one that kind of came up, and was able that I was able to get, since the Crepas stuff sells out so quickly, right? And I'm pretty happy with it. In this price range, it's probably one of the more unique and wearable watches that I've picked up. So talk a little bit about the movement here. I'm not sure where the Crepas watches are produced. They are a Spanish company. Not sure if the assembly and manufacture of the case occurs in Asia or where, but the movement in this model here is the Swiss ETA 2824, and it's it's great, reliable Swiss automatic movement. Has a date there at 6 o'clock. Not much to complain about there. It's a great movement. I think it's a good choice. So